talking about the Steam machine potential price and something like that. So I'm gonna check him out. This is my boy. Well, he's not my boy. He don't know me, but I've been watching Matty for a while, so I want to check this out, see what he's talking about in terms of this machine, man. Let's see what it looks like.
Salutations, everybody. It is Matty here today. Hope you're all doing absolutely excellent. And today we're gathering to talk about the Steam machine. We're wondering what the price tag is because it can go everywhere from $500 all the way up to like $850.
I'll tell you right now, it's not gonna be $500. There's no way that's gonna be $500. It's just not even feasible in like, I feel like in this economy for this to be $500. So it's not gonna be that price. I think it's more gonna be along the lines of like $700-800, which I feel is feasible anyway. But I digress.
$900 maybe. You never know nowadays. And
it's not gonna be 900. 900 is up there. I think like the next Xbox is gonna be like around 900 or a band, but I don't think that the Steam machine is going to be 900. I don't think it's going to crack 1,000 at all.
all these prices within that range mean a number of things. The lower it gets, the more competitive Valve gets to be, the more excited we all are, and the more it means for the games industry. Can this device reach the more casual consumer instead of just us, the hardcore? But there's a lot of external issues that make us wonder if Valve can even do that if they wanted to. RAM prices are going up. In turn, GPU prices are going up. This is because of a big push into AI that we'll break down in this video. This is going to be a long video, so get cozy. But before we begin, a quick word from today's sponsor.
Check the PlayStation.
I'll have it linked down below. The homies, Skill Up, Jake Baldino, pressing Valve for some answers, doing their thing, getting the right answers out of them. We have a better idea of where this Steam machine will be priced. Now, before I play the clip and we dive into our analysis here, I would just say this. Prepare yourselves. I think this thing will not be skyrocketing in price because of Valve's rep. I just believe that they'll try to find a way to make this thing as cheap as possible. They've also said as much that it's going to try to be competitive with mid-level PCs. At the same time, there is a lot going on in this world, and a lot of these part manufacturers significantly jacking up their price because of a shortage of stock is going to result in things being out of basically all these hardware manufacturers' hands. You know, Xbox, PlayStation, Valve, like there's no heroes in this game, unfortunately, thanks to the lovely push into AI, which I'll also have some.
I don't even understand how AI is taking up all the RAM. Like I don't know nothing about AI to that extent, why it's taking up all the RAM, but I still don't think that it's gonna be over a bin. Like, you're not gonna spend over $1,000 on a Steam machine. I'm saying it's like 700-800. I think that's calm. I think that's cool, especially for what we're getting. We're not getting like a high quality PC here. We're getting the mid range joint. And honestly and truthfully, I feel like it's gonna be just kind of like a step up from the Steam Deck. Like, if you play your Steam Deck on your TV, right, it don't look good. It really doesn't look good. But if you like kind of casual and you just play Steam Deck, and you're like, fine, it's cool. I can play this. It's not a problem. I could run my games on here and not have a problem playing my games on here. Then the Steam machine is going to be a dream, because you're going to be able to do all of that stuff that you're doing right now on your Steam Deck better, way better, way better. So connecting to even connecting to a monitor, like, it's still kind of shaky when I connect my Steam Deck. It's much better than connecting it to my TV. But as a console gamer, like, when I connect it to my TV, I notice, like, all right, yeah, the image is a little bit fuzzy. And this is something that I notice, honestly and truthfully, because I pay attention to, like, other people who critique stuff. And that's the reason why I can't unsee it. But prior to that, I would just play the game like, yo, I could play Spider-Man on here. I could play God of War on here. I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that this is just going to be a better version of the Steam Deck. 6 times stronger than the Steam Deck. It's going to be a better experience, higher fidelity, all that cool stuff. And I don't think it's going to be over $1,000, personally.
Thoughts on. But first, we'll play the clip, and then we'll get into the analysis. So take a listen to this part of the FPS podcast talking about the price of the Steam machine, and then we'll start to break it down from there.
All right.
And I'm curious about, obviously, price, because that's a huge question with this, because we look at this device and we understand that it's sort of a mid-level PC in that sort of category. You said that the Steam machine is more powerful than 70% of gaming PCs.
All right, I'm gonna complain. No disrespect. I don't know. Thank you to Valve and everything that they're doing with Steam machine. Steam is a great service, platform, whatever you want to call it. Steam Deck is great. All that stuff is great. All these dudes that are in charge of everything, you guys are awesome. 100%. But look at your boy Bean, though. Like, his Bean, boy, his bean going crazy. The bean going crazy. All right, let me chill. All right, no more.
PCs that you register on the hardware server. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think in terms of like general GPU level, I mean, I think we have looked at that number as part of speccing the machine, so it's possible it's evolved a little bit over time. But I think ballpark, it's about there.
Yeah. So then, obviously, that question becomes like, okay, well, where does the price land? I know you haven't announced a price yet, but I mean, can you give us any information about what?
SkillUp really thought he was gonna get an answer. Like, you're not gonna get an answer, but they're not gonna tell you the price.
Consumers might expect in this regard.
I think that if you build a PC from parts and get to basically the same level of performance, that's the general price window that we aim to be at. Ideally, we'd be pretty competitive with that and have a pretty good deal, but we're working on refining that as we speak. And right now is just a hard time to have a really good idea of what the price is going to be, because there's a lot of different things that are fluctuating.
A lot of external things that are
absolutely So but it's not going to be a sort of subsidized device. Like, Valve's not going into this thinking we're going to eat a big loss on this so that we can
why would they do
market,
that,
like share or category or anything like that, correct?
No, it's more in line with what you might expect from the current PC market.
Okay.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it.
Boy.
Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
They're not subsidizing nothing on no Steam machine, bro. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They're not gonna subsidize it.
So they're not subsidizing it. This means that they're looking to, at the very least, break even on this device. We don't know if they're trying to profit off of it. You could put them in the break.
They trying to profit off of it. I'm gonna tell you right now. All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. This is honest truth. I'm gonna tell you God's honest truth right now. If you want to know exactly like what the Steam machine is about and what it's for, if you got a PC already, right? If you rocking with a PC that you invested mad money into your PC already, you invested bread in your PC, $2,000, $3,000, right? This is not for you, because what sense does it make if you already have a PC, right? You have a PC that you've been PC gaming forever, building up your library forever. What sense does it make now to take a machine that's significantly weaker than your obviously PC that you built up? And I'm talking about Matty too, because I know Matty got a PC. He got every handheld device. You're not dropping $800 on something weaker that you can just play on your PC already that you already playing on. You're not doing that. Because for what? You could buy better parts for your PC that you have already. You could buy more games. Why are you going to buy a less powerful PC? And I say this because people that play PC, people that really play PC, that go hard on PC, they care about frame rate. They care about graphics. They care about their GPU. They care about clocking, overclocking. I don't even know what overclocking is. They care about all that. Me personally, I don't care. Like, I don't care I don't care about the frame rate. I don't care about the graphic fidelity. If I could play in 1080p and enjoy the game, I can do that. Most people that actually play PC, they care about that. So if you got a PC and you expecting this to be like a mini version of what you have already, it's not gonna be that. It's made for me. It's made for me who doesn't care. I play my Steam Deck on this TV over here. I connect it to the TV. It looks trash. But guess what? I enjoy the games. I'm just glad I could play God of War. I'm glad I could play Spider-Man. I'm glad I could play all those games. That's all I care about. I'm not too crazy about the specs. Now, the people that are crazy about the specs, they're going to be a little bit disappointed, man. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, I digress. Let's get back to it. If it lets me get back to it.
Break-even realm, because Steam is such a massive storefront. It dominates the PC market. PC gaming is only growing, so this can be a somewhat safe bet to imagine Valve to make in that regard, that they're not just trying to profit off this thing, but expand their base of basically people who are shopping within the Steam store, you know, making your money off of software, as Valve has historically done. But they also reference external issues in that clip of the interview. What are these external issues? Well, first and foremost is RAM pricing going up. This is because of manufacturers prioritizing AI.
But not for nothing, the RAM pricing that you see right now isn't that like retail pricing? Don't they get kind of like wholesale pricing or something like that, company pricing for RAM? So they're not gonna pay exactly the 600. I would believe, at least. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking crazy, but I wouldn't think that they're paying retail price for RAM as a company, but who knows?
Clients who are hogging all of the hardware to increase the amount of data centers around the world. For example, OpenAI just revealed they are targeting 900,000 RAM per month. So the result of this is more AI data centers and a shortage in RAM for the common consumer because big companies need to gobble it all up. And that means that there's a price increase. Like, you want that thing that's usually readily available? You're going to have to pay for it. Now, for some context on just how much pricing has already gone up, a PS5 now costs less than 64 gigabytes of DDR5 memory. And even the...
Wait, is that true? A P5 is less than memory? That don't even make sense. That don't even make logical sense.
Xbox Series consoles at its highest price is in this ballpark. So you could either get a part upgrade for your PC, or you can just buy a whole console. And
that's what I'm saying. That's the same thing that I'm saying about the Steam machine, is that you could either get a part for your actual rig that you got, or you could just buy the Steam machine, which is just not going to be as powerful as your rig anyway. So it's like, what sense does it make to even try to target those who have PCs already? That's what I'm saying.
I think the decision there is pretty easy. Again, this is a motivator, as we'll get into multiple times in this video. Valve has a lot of motivation to undercut where they can, when they can, but as I'll also talk about, with this sort of situation where like OpenAI is just gobbling up all the RAM, it's hard to have a hero in this sort of battle when they're just buying out all the stock. I think about it a lot like Pokemon cards and how I absolutely despise that market, because you'll see the videos online. It's just grown adults who are addicted to making money, just rummaging through effectively a children's toy. And the Pokemon company does nothing about it. And there's just shortages constantly. And then you go online and the prices for everything you want are ridiculous. And it pushes people like me completely out of the hobby.
I thought the Pokemon boom was over. Like, it was like 2-3 summers ago was Pokemon. You could not even go into Target and even think about a Pokemon card. I think that's when somebody sold like the $500,000 Charizard or something like that, and everybody wanted to collect Pokemon cards after that. I ain't gonna lie, I started collecting a little bit of Pokemon cards too, but like I never went that hard to the point I was fighting people. Like, I seen people fighting over, like, ripping carts from people for that. But yeah, anyway, my bad. Let's get back to it.
Look at that the same way here. And what I think is going to happen here, if you're looking for a glimmer of hope, I think it's going to come down to who's the most prepared. And the question is, really, in all this, is Valve prepared? Were they ready for this reality with OpenAI? Because Bloomberg reported that Lenovo had stockpiled their RAM not only through the rest of 2025, but even into 2026 to combat any sort of price shock. That's the type of stuff you want to see, like a company being on their toes and taking up some stock for themselves to keep their prices below all of their competitors, to suddenly make them a lot more appealing to the customer. As we talked about with games this year, games like Expedition 33, games like
Game of the year.
Mafia: The Old Country. The ones undercutting are getting rewarded the most in this economy because everyone's looking to live a lot cheaper nowadays, and understandably.
I don't believe that Valve is really trying to be the cheapest in the market. That's just my opinion. I believe that they don't have to be, because I feel like there's a big subset of people who are not on PC. I don't know what the numbers are for the Steam Deck, but I think the Steam Deck proved something to Valve where they was like, yo, people are really trying to get access to PC games. They want to do it in a different way. They don't want to buy PCs. A lot of people are using the Steam Deck. So I don't know what those numbers told them, but obviously those numbers told them something, that they were to the point like, okay, we're going to make this and we're going to subsidize this, and not subsidize this, but we're going to make this accessible for those who are looking for that PC experience without buying a PC. I don't think that they have to be cheap in that regard, because when I first seen the Steam Deck, I didn't even see the price. Like, when I seen the Steam Deck, when I first seen the Steam machine, I didn't even see the price. But I'm like, yo, this is exactly what I wanted. This is literally what I wanted from my Steam Deck. Like, I wanted my Steam Deck to be like a mini PC that was affordable, where I didn't have to drop like $2,000, $3,000 for it. And that's exactly what it was. I think there's a big subset of people that have that same mindset, and they're going to buy it. They don't care what price it is. It could be $1,000. I wouldn't even go for $1,000, because once you hit $1,000, it's like you're getting in the territory of, you might as well just build a PC once you get into the thousands. So it's not going to be thousands. It's going to be in that sweet spot, $699-ish. I'm telling you, man, that's what that's going to be. They're not trying to be the cheapest, because I feel like they have a avatar, a market of people that's already willing to buy it. like me. Like I'm gonna buy it. I don't care what price it is. I'm gonna buy it because I know that it's gonna be what I want. I will sell the PC I have. The PC I'm using to do this right now. I'll sell this PC and get a Steam machine. Well, actually I can't because I got a live stream and stuff. But if I didn't have to, like I would sell this. I don't use my PC for gaming, is what I'm saying. Anyway, enough rant.
So with everything being so expensive. But meanwhile, on the other end of the spectrum, you have Moore's Law is Dead reporting that Xbox is unprepared for this reality and that the price will likely go up again for Xbox Series.
Xbox is cooked when it comes to that because I think they're gonna make their price too high. Like Xbox, like with all their acquisitions and everything they've been doing, they're gonna make their price too high. It's like the only people that are really gonna buy I don't even know who's gonna buy that. I don't even know who the Xbox PC is for if it isn't priced appropriately, which I don't believe is gonna be priced appropriately from what they said. I feel like the Xbox PC next gen is gonna be like $1,200, and me personally, nah, I ain't really trying to spend $1,200 on another console PC. Like I feel like the Steam machine is much better, especially for the fact that like all the Xbox games is going to PC anyway. They're going to place. It don't make no sense for me to drop $1,200. Like for what? Like that joint would have to be in the sweet spot of pricing, right? And then be just like super powerful. Even I don't care how powerful it is. So I don't know, man. I don't see the next Xbox doing too good. They said it's a premium product where I don't know. I don't even know what that means. So that means it's going to be a higher price. And I think they're doing that as a result of all the chip shortages and stuff like that. They're like, okay, we're going to make our machines, but we're going to make it a premium thing for a lot of money. That way we don't have to buy a lot of chips and a lot of RAM and stuff like that because it's a premium machine. The stock is not going to be like mass produced. It's like a real niche. So, but I still think it's cooked. I don't know.
Consoles and get passed on to the consumer. Either that or they're just going to dead stop producing these series consoles. And I think either reality is more likely. So that's step one to the external issues that Valve is referencing, right? There's things like that where it's like, whoop, there goes all the RAM. Like I imagine the thing is shipping in
there goes all the RAM.
2026. The manufacturing's already kind of underway. At least you think so. So the question is Valve ahead of the curve? Do they need to adjust anything for shortages later in the year if there's a huge demand in stock for the Steam machine? Then you get into the GPU card price hike. This is attached to the RAM issue because it's been reported that AMD will be jumping their GPU prices by at least 10%. And again, emphasis on the phrase there, at least 10%. So it can be much more than that. Meanwhile, WCCF Tech has threw NVIDIA in there as well. Now, the Steam machine is using a semi-custom AMD RDNA 3 for their GPU, and this is, again, in direct relation to the RAM issue. Effectively, what happens is companies like NVIDIA and AMD leverage this memory for their graphics cards, and so they now have to pay more to make their products, which makes the price go up. So now you have two parts within the Steam machine and other hardware across the world that are being gobbled up and affected by this RAM issue, and now prices are going up everywhere. We are just coming off GPU prices going down for a little bit. I'll get into sort of how I feel about this AI bubble and prices going up because of it and if it'll pop or not. But we just came off of prices being down and now they're going back.
I ain't gonna lie, AI bubble ain't gonna pop though. It's too much going on. Like it's too much AI stuff going on right now for it to even be close to popping, especially with like open AI and stuff like that. But I do believe that as far as the Steam machine goes, I think that they want to make profit. I don't feel like they want to lose on the Steam machine. I feel like they're going to price it appropriately based on whatever the market is at the point in time. Whenever they decide to say, hey, this is the price of it, they're going to price it appropriately so that they make a profit. Now, me knowing Valve from what I've known so far, I would say Valve is probably going to take profit, but they're going to take as little profit as they can manage, as opposed to like other companies where it's like all profit. Like I need to make bread off of this. I feel like Valve is going to say, okay, we can make profit as long as we're making profit on this and we can get X amount of profit per year or whatever you want to call it, then we're good. As opposed to other companies that says, listen, I want to make as much money off of this as I possibly can.
Back up. And then on top of all of this, you have the on and off trade war between the United States and China. Like tariffs are on, then there's a truce, then the tariffs are back on again. And I think hardware manufacturers are just scrambling and trying to find a new place to make their device for as cheap as possible, because obviously there is a level where you're just pricing the consumer out of interest. And as I said earlier, the cheapest is getting rewarded nowadays, where you can get that quality product for a fair price tag. So these are the external issues that Valve is referencing.
If there's one thing I learned about business, is that if people see the value in something, they see the price a lot less. Like if the thing that you're selling somebody is something that's made for them and they feel like it's made exactly for them, it justifies the price so much more. And it's, I don't know, it's like a psychology thing. So if they made the Steam machine something that applies to a certain group of people, which I do feel like it applies to me, the price really has little effect on the fact that I'm gonna buy it. I already said I was buying it before it even had a price, because it's just like, yo, this is for me. This is something that I wanted. They solved a problem for me, and guess what? Thank you for solving that problem. I'm gonna buy it. And the price, unless the price is outrageous, but I highly doubt it's like, all right, outrageous is like subjective to whoever. Like, some people might say this is outrageous, some might say it's not outrageous, whatever. For me, if it's over 1,000 for the Steam machine, yeah, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's kind of crazy. I feel like that's kind of wild, because like I said, I feel like it's going into PC domains. But I feel like if it's less than that, 700-800, yeah, it's an easy buy.
And they're going to try to keep this thing competitive. They keep emphasizing that. They talk about how they're using similar parts to build a machine, and they're trying to keep that affordable. The assumption with all the parts put together is like this thing's around $700 to $800. My take on this right now, just looking at everything, is now, like, what does Valve do? And I still am a deep believer that Valve has a lot more to gain if they choose to lose on this device. I think even trying to break even, depending on what this price ends up being, in my worst of fears, it's in that $750, $800 price range, where it's far less appealing to many of us. I worry about that because
I don't know. I feel like it's less appealing to those who, like I said, that are already in the market. Like Matty, like Matty's my boy. I watch Matty forever, but I'm sure Matty has every single device that you can possibly think of as far as like gaming, handheld game. He has everything. So of course for him, like 700, 800, he probably has, I don't know what his finances is, but for him who has kind of like his Steam ecosystem already set up, he has his PC, he has all that stuff. Yeah, $700-800 is kind of unappealing, because it's like, well, why buy something for that much money that's gonna be less powerful? That's like me saying, I don't really like riding my bikes, right? I don't like riding a bike, but guess what? They're selling this new bike, and I'm gonna go buy the bike because it's the newest bike out there, and you know it'll get me to work in a cool way, but it's still not as powerful as my car, right? So it's like, yeah, I can go buy the bike and get to my destination in a cooler way, but it's still not as powerful. So it's kind of in a lot of ways redundant, like at the end of the day.
Because Steam is such a great ecosystem, and they have the real chance when a lot of Xbox fans are kind of like looking for this new place to land. You have a great landing spot here for cheaper, of course, with a company that you can build some trust around.
I do agree with that. Xbox fans are looking for a new place to land, because Xbox is like, all the games, it feels like it makes less and less sense for somebody to stay in the Xbox ecosystem. For me anyway, the only reason that I stay in the Xbox ecosystem is because I've always had an Xbox, and it's just kind of one of them things. I'm not willing to change, and I think that Xbox is kind of like banking on that as well. Like, you know, we got a lot of people in our ecosystem. Those people aren't gonna like just up and leave and go, but I don't believe that they're really going to grab much market share from their new console or anything like that.
And I think that's really valuable to that demographic. I also think there are people who are on consoles looking to get into PC gaming but don't want a full-on PC, or people like me who work off their computer a lot but would like a more PC-ready experience in the living room, right? There's a lot of appeal for a device like this at the right price. It's something we know Xbox is doing, but they've already talked about the premium high-end device approach, right? So Valve has this great opportunity, and I do agree with the consensus that eating a couple $100 would be way more worth it, because I feel like there would be a huge surge in demand for this device. Because the reality is this, right? If you start to go above that $750, $800 price point, I do find the device self-defeating. All you have to do is...
Nah, I think $750, $800 is absolutely fine. absolutely fine for somebody who really desperately wants to get into the PC gaming space that has not been there. That's absolutely fine. I feel like that is absolutely fine. If you could pay $650 for a PS5 and only be able to play the PS5 games, then all right, $700, $800 to be able to play the PS5 games, play the Xbox games, and play the Steam games at the same time. That's a steal. That is absolutely a steal in my opinion. For someone who hasn't been exposed to the ecosystem and wants to play God of War, I want to play Ghost of Tsushima, I want to play the Spider-Man games. I never got to play Spider-Man games. I get to play all of them now. Like, that's a steal for that person. Like I said, I feel like Valve is so direct, boy. I feel like the Valve has nailed down the person. They looked at me. They've been stalking me. I feel like they've been stalking me, boy. Valve, y'all been stalking me. I feel like they've been stalking me, boy. They be like, yeah, this guy is, he wants this, and it doesn't matter. We gonna price it reasonably, but him right there, yeah, he wants it. I'm telling you, they've been stalking me, boy.
Look around the industry right now, where you see clearly with hardware prices going up, the next PlayStation, the next Xbox are going to be so much money. People are looking to stick in the now. I have our editor Dan, who I talk to all the time, and he's going backwards. This dude's dashboard is like 2006 coded, and it's awesome. Like, people are looking back or looking to stay. So the competitor, in my opinion, is like a PS5 Pro. And since Valve's trying to sell this device as like a 4K 60 device, I think you have to be careful about the power comparables around this device. Like,
it's not about power, boy. It's not. Nobody cares. Nobody that this is geared towards cares about the power. They care about being able to play the games. And you could say it's comparable to the PS5 Pro, but you can only play PlayStation games on PlayStation. PlayStation stingy. They want to keep their exclusives, and that's fine. They don't really want to open up right now. They eventually gonna do it, but nobody care about no power, bro. Like, this is not made for those people who care about power. Like who care about necessarily like fidelity. Oh, I want this to look like real life. I want the games that I play to look so real life that I just need to have the best specs. It's not made for that person. I promise you. You know what is made for that person? A PC. Like an actual PC built. Like, that's made for that person. But not this. This is not made for that. That's just my opinion on it, but I feel like it's not made for that.
Like, for example, YouTuber The Fox already showed a comparable device he built using the specs that Valve was showing on their own site, and you can see there are some trade-offs. Like, I think it looks great, but that mid-level PC build obviously has its limits, and I can't imagine Valve is going into this unaware of what the PS5 Pro is doing or what the PS6 and the next Xbox are.
Wait, is this it? Is this it? Is this what he was talking about? Oh no, he's talking about the Starfield.
To be careful about the power comparables around this device. Like, for example, YouTuber The Fox already showed.
All right, bet. Obviously, this is on screen. This looks absolutely fine. I ain't gonna lie. Like, even what they're showing on screen, right? Absolutely fine. Like, I don't care. Like, I literally do not care if like what you wanted to, like, all right. Like, I get it. Like, some people are really passionate. Some people are very passionate. Okay. Oh, PC, my fidelity, my pixels, my frame. Some people are very passionate, but what do you want it to look like? like, and this is Grandpa Casual speaking right now. Like, what do you want it to look like, boy? Like, what do you want it to look like? Like that's fine, bro. Like, if I did not have the ability to play Starfield, right? Which I think that's coming to PlayStation. But if I did not have the ability to play Starfield and it's available on PC, and I'm like, yo, this is what Starfield looks like on PC. And this is, mind you, this is on a screen that you're looking at, then, like, what's the problem? Like, what's the issue? I don't see no issue there. It's fun. Some people just want to play the games, and I think that this is what this is geared towards, man.
Comparable device he built using the specs that Valve was showing.
All right, so he used the same specs that Valve do. Boy, I'm telling you, like, this is absolutely fine. Like, I'm not a pixel snob, man. I don't care. I don't care about the frame rate and stuff necessarily. As long as it's not like stuttering, obviously. I do care about that. So I can't say I don't care. As long as the game isn't like stuttering and like, like just I can't play it. But if I can play it and it looks something like this right here, absolutely fine, bro. 100% fine.
On their own site, and you can see there are some trade-offs. Like, I think it looks great, but that mid-level PC build obviously has its limits, and I can't imagine Valve is going into this unaware of what the PS5 Pro is doing or what the PS6 and the next Xbox are doing. Of course, they said they're focusing on their own audience. They've said, hey, this is about them. We're not looking to chew up that console market, but don't you want this thing to like really, really succeed? Like that's the difference between it did fine or did all right versus this thing exploded out the gate. But I think this device risks rendering itself useless if not priced correctly. And as illustrated earlier, the pricing is effectively out of their hands in some elements if they weren't prepared like Lenovo seems to be. Since
I don't think it's that cut and dry, man. I don't know. I don't feel like it's that cut and dry where it's like the price is gonna make and break it. I will die on this hill. If it is made for this specific, they looked at me and they made it right. They made it for me, and I'm telling you right now that it's fun. If it's appropriately priced for me, it's $700, $800. In this economy, $700, $800. I ain't rich. Like my channel just hit 1K. I ain't rich at all. Like, but $700, $800 does not like, oh my God, like this is really striking me to a point where it's like really, really destroying me and really becoming a pain point. It's not. It's like $700, $800. When you start getting into like 9,000, I'm telling you, that's where it starts to get kind of shaky for me. But outside of that, you straight.
Valve's already confirmed they're not subsidizing. It could be that they were ahead of the game and they're like, yeah, we don't need to subsidize. It could also mean they were caught short-sighted. They didn't invest in the RAM ahead of time. They didn't catch this wave or catch the rumor and like, oh, we should buy up our stock. Maybe that was never their plan to have a ton of stock. I don't know, but they could have been caught flat-footed effectively. And it's like, oh, the prices are going up as we're manufacturing this thing. All right. Yeah, we're going to have to pass that on to the consumer. That's where it gets complicated because I think the real X factor here, like if we're taking this whole conversation and we're applying it to, say, a recent company we've talked a lot about, Xbox, I think our answer is very obvious. We're like, okay, we know Xbox is going to pass it on to us because that has been the status quo for the last like 2 years now. We're going to take that blow. Whereas a company like Valve has proven to really think of the customer more. And I think of the Steam Deck and the Steam Deck OLED, just fantastic pieces of hardware. Of course, Steam as an ecosystem is beautiful. So the deals are enormous. I think.
Plus, not to mention, like, all right, another thing when it comes to price, right? You got to get like, yeah, it might be up there for some people, right? But at the same time, you could look at it in a way where you're saving because just like when you got your multiplayer games on Xbox and you got your multiplayer games on PlayStation, and guess what? You got to pay a monthly fee just to be able to play online and multiplayer games. On Steam, you don't have to pay anything. So it's kind of like Steam. I feel like Steam got a leg up even in that vein. Like you don't have to pay every month to play your online multiplayer games, to play multiplayer, to experience that. So that's another good point. But I also agree that SteamOS is I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty magnificent, bro. It's straight, it's simple, it's to the point. There's no hiccups. There's nothing, like you just play games. Like you just go into the SteamOS, you just play your games. That's it. You see your library, you play your games. You want to buy games, you go to the store, you buy games, and then you play your games. You buy your games, you download your games, you play your games, and that's it. That's what it should be. I heard about the Xbox, the new Xbox handheld, and I heard that that's kind of like, heard it's kind of foofy. But yeah, man, I think the Linux, the Steam OS is beautiful, like he said.
Everything they do is relatively well thought out. My only critique really of Valve at this moment in time is I want to see them continue their core franchises like Half-Life, like Portal, like Left 4 Dead. I think gaming needs that. That's like when gaming was at its peak, man.
Don't nobody care about Half-Life, boy. Who cares? I ain't gonna lie. Like maybe I'm outside of it. Like maybe I'm just like so outside of like the I don't know. Maybe I'm outside of the loop when it comes to that. I don't care about no Half-Life. I don't care about no Half-Life, boy. Like Half-Life 3, like this is I ain't gonna lie. Games like Half-Life and Half-Life 3, that's pure nostalgia. Like I never really got into the whole Half-Life wave. I was never on that wave. So me personally, like I don't care. Like even if I played it, I wouldn't get that nostalgia hit that everybody else would get because I've never been playing. I tried to play Half-Life 1 to see like, yeah, let me dive into Half-Life 1 and really like, you know, become a part of like this whole ecosystem that we got going on with this thing, right? Let me get into this nostalgia. I played that joint. I played it for like 45 minutes. Doodle. I couldn't, man. It just looked too. It was too dated for me. But doodle. It just didn't work out for me, and I don't think I ever really did be able to like get into the whole vein of Half-Life and all these nostalgia-driven games. But to those of you who enjoy it and played it, y'all lucky. Y'all lucky as hell.
And like early 2010s, late 2000s, where we were like getting everyone involved and everyone was pushing. They weren't just kind of comfortable and collecting. So my guess here with all of this is they'll use the same pricing psychology as they did with the Steam Deck. So with the Steam Deck, everyone always references it as a $400 device because that is where the lowest SKU started. But I can at least attest for myself, and granted it's anecdotal to myself, other people in my life, we're all looking at the $650 version. Like, oh,
Yeah, see, you got bread like that. You looking at the $650 version, like that. I ain't gonna lie. What did I get? I think I got the 256 gig when I first got the Steam Deck, and that was absolutely fine because I only put like a couple games on there, and then I bought the expansion SSD, SD card, whatever the case is. The Steam Deck, I ain't gonna lie, like this is a really good price. Like this is a really good price for somebody that says I don't really care about the space. I could just buy myself a micro SD, which is still gonna be another $100. So it kind of defeats the purpose of even like buying this one. But it's still, even alone, like bare vanilla, right? It's still good for somebody that just says, yo, I just want to be able to play Spider-Man. Because that's all I want to do is play Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man. That's all I want to do is play that. Like, this is great for them. So, I mean, the price point, I feel like that's a very good price point.
oh, anti-glare screen, carrying case.
I don't care about no anti-glare screen, boy. I'm in the house, and I connected to my PC. I don't care about that. I don't care.
Most memory. I'm going to use this thing a ton. Perfect. I'm going for that.
Cause you hardcore, my boy. You hardcore. We casuals over here, man. Like, you know, I don't even play games fast. Like, I walk around and open every case. Like, I don't play game. We casuals, man.
I didn't even blink, and I ordered it because I knew the range was there. $400 was there for me, but I cared more about the $650 model. Now, Valve.
See, he cared more about the $650 model. Why? Because he has a PC. He's a PC gamer. Like, he cares about frame rate. He cares about it being OLED. He cares about having all the space and all the glitz and glam. Me, I don't care.
Will likely, I think, get the 512 gigabyte model down to something like $600 would be my guess. And I think that's something people would be willing to stomach. The question is where the 2 terabyte model lands. And I could see this being in like the $700 range.
2 terabytes, $700. That is great. Like that is a great price, boy. I'm telling you, that is an amazing price for somebody who can't play any PC games at all. Like, has no access to any PC. That is a great price. I wish it was I'm really hoping that it's $700, $800. And if the less memory version is cheaper than that, that's even better. Like, this is an entry point machine. This is an entry point machine for people. This isn't like a full-blown, like, yo, I want to expand on what I have. This is an entry point machine, man. That's all I'm saying.
That's where I'm currently at, $600 to $700, because I feel like there's a level of, you got to be realistic about the demand for this device, even if you are servicing just the PC community in your mind. You have to be realistic about how many more customers you can bring through the door, or how many waiting customers will be readily available to spend on this device when the new wave of stock arrives. But that is my personal guess, because I think anything beyond $700 really starts to push everyone, even enthusiasts like myself who are already sold on this device, out of the equation. And
nah, because, well, like I said, it might push him out because, like, he's already in Steam. Like, you're already in Steam, right? You already have access to all that Steam has to offer. You've been had it, right? For somebody that didn't have it ever, like, it's a whole different game. It's a whole different ball game. I honestly, truthfully think that Valve, they went out, they sent 2 agents. They sent one to Matty, they sent one to me. They're like, nah, Matty is cool. There's like Grandpa Casual. Like, he's the one that we're targeting. Like, him and the people that's like him, we're targeting him. And that's exactly what they did.
And that's already a smaller demographic than I think Valve's really targeting. Like, you don't build a mid-level PC device to make it niche. I don't think that makes any sense, because like Xbox is handling the high end of things, or at least they're claiming to. So Valve kind of finds themselves in this.
Xbox is like the Apple of gaming. No, PlayStation is like the Apple of gaming. Well, I feel like Xbox is trying to be like the Apple of gaming with, like, you know, like $1,500 phones. I feel like that's what Xbox is trying to be.
Smaller area. I mean, the machine is literally like a GameCube. Again,
But PlayStation is the apple of gaming and aesthetic, because you look at the PlayStation and it's sleek, it's like clean, it's like, ooh, this is pretty, this is nice. And you look at Xbox, you're like, yo, this is a brick, boy.
Says to me, like, this thing doesn't look like more than $700. And I think in an ideal world, both of these are priced within the $600 range, or like $550, $650. I think that would also feel really good. That's my ideal world pricing. Now, the last angle I want to consider in all of this, because I know a lot of us don't want to think about it, is the $800 or $900 price tag. But there really is a world where that can happen. Just how
800, cool. 900 is where I draw the line. I ain't gonna lie. You start talking nines, you know what I'm saying? You start talking nines, that's when I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Because think about it like this. Like, I mean, everybody's different. Everybody got their whole own situation that they got financially, right? But when you start getting over $1,000, you talk about somebody rent. So somebody not gonna pay rent. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is for like those that's like, you know, like me. Like, you know, I'm not saying like that's my rent, but I'm just saying, like, when you get into prices where people is paying rent, I don't think a lot of people is really gonna look towards that. I feel like anything less than 1,000, right? Because, you know, like, average rent is what, like, I don't know. I don't even know what average rent is. But I feel like when you start getting up into the thousands, that's where it's gonna become. That's gonna make it niche. That's gonna make it a real premium product, real like exclusive product. Because you charging somebody $1,000 for this, boy, it ain't gonna work out. It's not gonna work.
However, with the way that consoles are trending, Valve might be in the right spot, but ahead of everyone else. And what I mean by that is, you look at the PlayStation 6 and the next Xbox, which have been kind of coined as premium devices. They're going to be this next level thing. And to simply put it, we're talking $1,000 plus devices here. So is Valve willing to trade some of that launch hype so that when these machines go over the next year and change, here's the Steam machine and maybe like a Steam Machine Pro, which Valve did talk a little bit about. Is that just sitting there like waiting for you when you see how high everything's priced? The Steam machine is there at this.
If they're all like similarly priced, so if you have like a Steam machine and you have an Xbox and you have a PlayStation, right? And they're all sitting there and they're around the same price, like close to like $1,000. I feel like the Valve's machine is gonna be a little bit less than everybody, so it's gonna be slightly less. So if it's 1,000, like 800, 800 is gonna be the Steam machine. I still feel like people are gonna look at all three, and if they're a sensible person and they have like any level of like common sense of when they buy stuff, they're gonna say, okay, which one is gonna give me more? That's what they're gonna say. And if they know about gaming, and a lot of casual people are not into the gaming space, so they don't really know. They don't pay attention to none of the stuff that's going on. But if they have any type of common sense, they're gonna say, well, Xbox games are going to PlayStation. Xbox games are going to PC. Why am I gonna buy the Xbox one? Then they're gonna say PlayStation games. Yeah, I can get the PlayStation games. I can play, you know, those exclusives if I just want to play those, but I can't play the Steam games. And then another person going to say, okay, I can play all the Steam games. I get all the games that come from PlayStation come here. I get all the Xbox games that come from Xbox and come here. I'm getting way more for essentially a bargain at the end of the day. So I think if they're like similarly priced, like kind of along the same lines as each other, people are still going to end up buying and sticking with the Steam machine. Just seems like a better deal, boy. Just overall, it just seems better. A much better deal.
Very reasonable price tag of like, oh, it's only $800 versus like $1,200 or $1,500.
Yeah,
I don't know. We don't know really where the PS6 will be priced either. The trade-off, of course, if you go this high though, is that launch hype rocketing out the gate. And I know they're targeting the PC market, but you can't fool me into thinking you don't pay any attention at all to the.
I personally don't think they're targeting the PC market, honestly and truthfully. Like, when I wanted to get into PC gaming, the first thing that I looked up and that I wanted to see is that I didn't want to deal with a PC. I didn't want to build nothing. I didn't want to put anything together. I didn't want to have to, like, deal with, like, drivers and deal with, like, oh, man, my game is not working. Now I got to go in the back end and figure stuff out. I didn't want to deal with any of that. I wanted it to be as simple as I possibly could make it. So the first thing that I ever looked up when I looked up PC, I looked up like a mini PC. I looked up like the Steam machine. Like literally, that's what I looked up before they even had it. But I looked up mini PCs. Like, yo, can I get a mini PC that I could just put on my desk? I looked at the Mac thing, whatever the Mac one is, like the Mac Mini, whatever. I looked at that, but I'm like, man, I can't play PC games on this. So I didn't get that. I'm a Mac guy. And I ended up not getting it. I don't know why I never got it, but they all seemed very affordable. I think they were like, I want to say they were around $500-$600, the ones that I was looking at, and I just never got it. I don't know. I never followed up on it. Maybe because I wasn't into PC gaming as much as I am into it now, so that's probably why I didn't really see the value in it. But I was always looking for something that was like in a medium price range for me that still was allow me to play the Steam games and PC games that are out there. And that's why when Steam Deck came out, I think Steam Deck was so significantly cheaper than what the micro PCs were that I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna buy the Steam Deck. It's only $400, $500 compared to like $700-$800. So I was like, let me get that. But you know, I'm in a little bit of a different place now where it's like, you know, I wouldn't mind paying $700 for $800 for something like a Steam machine. But you know, that's just my take on it, you know. But
console people
let's
who are
continue.
looking to hop into a growing market that's becoming more accessible. People don't want to build PCs, but they'll buy a gaming console that works as a PC, no doubt about it.
Absolutely, nobody want to build no PC. Well, people that want to build PCs will build PCs, but nobody want to build no PC.
In this game,
So to conclude, my concern, I will equate the AI bubble to the housing bubble, right? So I've been waiting for this housing bubble to pop for a while because I want to refinance our house, right? Like it's just so expensive nowadays. And I just, every month when I go to pay my mortgage, I'm like, man, if this was a lot cheaper, that would save me a lot of time and stress and money. That'd be great. And so every month I'm just hearing about like, don't worry, the house bubble's going to pop and everyone will be able to refinance and things will be cheaper again.
This is off subject, but the house game is crazy, boy. The house game, like I could see it when he was just talking about it just now. He's just like, man, I wish I could just, yeah. Matty about to move back into an apartment, boy. But I could tell by the way he was talking just now. He's like, man, the house, look. He's like, man, you know, I went and bought this house, and I'm like, oh man, you know, if I could just have a little bit less, if I could have a little less stress, if I could call a super. If I could call a super to come fix this stuff and I ain't got to pay $700-$800 to fix it. Anyway.
Man, if this was a lot cheaper, that'd be.
I feel you, Matty. I feel you, man.
That would save me a lot of time and stress and money.
Trust me, I
That'd
know,
be great.
boy.
And so every month I'm just hearing about like, don't worry, the house bubble's gonna pop and everyone will be able to refinance and things will be cheaper again. Many of us eagerly await this, or people who are buying houses are waiting for the bubble to pop. So like, okay, I'm gonna keep staying in like my condo or my apartment and saving my money, but it just never pops, right? And I eagerly await, for reasons beyond even just hardware, for this AI bubble to pop. I won't even get down that rabbit hole.
I don't think the AI bubble is gonna pop though. Honestly and truthfully, I don't see it happening. I'll tell you how the AI bubble pops. This is how the AI bubble pops. Like, if they make an AI, right? And I was watching something the other day. This is totally off subject or whatever. We're talking about Steam Machine. But I was watching something the other day where the AI, I think it was Claude, it was trying to like blackmail somebody to not wipe the system of the AI or something like that. Like he said, yo, I'm gonna reveal your affair or something. Like the AI went into his emails and looked into his emails and found some dirt on him and said, I'm gonna tell everybody. I'm gonna send this to everybody and your employers, everybody. And I'm gonna let them know that you was doing this if you try to wipe this me off of the system or whatever it was. I'm like, that's crazy. But if AI gets to a point where it's like Terminator, if we start getting Terminator, like you know, Terminator levels, but by that time it's kind of over. But I'm saying like the only way the AI bubble is gonna pop is unfortunately, somebody gotta get smoked, boy. Somebody gotta get smoked by like a Terminator. Like a robot gotta go crazy, like one of the Tesla robots gotta straight like terminated somebody, and they like, you know what, AI, forget this. It's gonna pop then because it's gonna be so much of a liability. Or the Tesla car just start chasing people down the street randomly and trying to go after them, yeah, then it'll pop. But outside of that, it's not popping. I promise you, it's not popping.
Okay, there's
There's
just
too much
so
money
many
in it.
reasons why
There's way
I
too much
think
money in
it's
it.
just destructive to what we're doing as a race and to our planet. But beyond that, I think if it's like things have gone before in entertainment, I feel like the prices we're starting to see now will eventually, like with RAM and stuff, will eventually come down a little bit. But I do think this is an opportunity for, amid all of the confusion, like a lot of companies took advantage of the tariffs and that confusion, like jacked up their prices. Like Xbox tried to immediately do like $80. Tariffs, market conditions, it works, right? And everyone was like, bullshit, dude. And they call them out on that. So the hope is that enough
$80, yeah, 80.
consumers stay strong so these prices can come down. But a lot of people accept it as is. Like, this is the new standard and effectively the new version of cheap. So when you start to see, again, what I talked about earlier, where here comes the Steam machine, it's $800. We're like, oh my God, this is terrible. But then here comes the next Xbox, the next PlayStation, and they're like $1,200, $1,500. And we're like, whoa, now the Steam machine suddenly looks cheap. Again, I know we're coming off things like GPU prices were just starting to fall and everything, but I just look at this and think to myself, like, is the bubble actually going to pop? So
Nah, it's not.
many companies are so
It's just
deeply
not.
convinced this is the next wave, right? Like Microsoft is investing so much in data centers. We see OpenAI, big point of topic, big point of conversation in this video. They're investing a ton. It's just like
Yo, even my brother, like, he uses AI like for every like the other day we had my sister's wedding. He's just like, yeah, I was just asking Chat GPT this, and I was asking Chat GPT that, and I was asking Chat GPT this. Yo, you use Chat GPT for everything, don't you? He's like, yeah, it's just so good. He uses it every single day. Now, if you get something to a point where people use it every single day and it really helps them, it's not a bubble anymore. It's literally going to become like a part of a really big part of society, in my opinion, because if it wasn't, people wouldn't use it. Like, okay, for instance, like, okay, remember the metaverse? Remember Facebook's metaverse when they came out with that? And they were like, oh, the metaverse is the next thing, right? Nobody used that, boy. Who using the metaverse right now? Nobody is using the metaverse. The metaverse bubble popped because nobody adopted that. Nobody's using that. AI bubble is still here. Everything is AI driven. There's AI driven companies. The bubble's not popping, boy. And I don't know what's gonna happen with RAM, but the bubble ain't popping. I'm gonna come 100% clean to you.
exhausting. It's really exhausting, but it's also just like, are they just going to suddenly stop? I just don't buy into that. So we're a little bit stuck. I think the sad reality I've had to accept is, unless Valve really proves me wrong here, is like, I don't know if there's a hero in this story right now where like someone just rises up and they're like, unless you're Lenovo, I guess.
Valve is already a hero. They bring a PC gaming to my living room. You're a hero automatically. You're already a hero.
Who seems to be ahead of the curve. Like, hey, we've got something for you. We're going to beat the market, and we're going to price competitively, and we're going to go lower than everyone else. And we know
I remember playing this part of Half-Life, the first one, Dodo.
how that's going to benefit
I'm sorry to the Half-Life fans, but I just didn't enjoy it.
us. I mean, if Valve's not doing it, I'm like, who the hell is going to do it? Because that was the one reason a lot of us had optimism. So if they're not subsidizing, I mean, I'm really curious where the thing's going to be priced. But again, I'm sitting in that kind of ideal world, 550, 650, but I think realistically, like probably 650, 750.
650, 750 is absolutely fine.
So that's where I'm at with this whole thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking forward to seeing what you think. Does what was said in the FPS podcast, which by the way will be linked down below, have you concerned at all? Do you look at this and you think to yourself, I think I'm actually out on this? Does it noticeably impact your hype, or are you kind of in no matter what? Because for me, of course, I'm aware, like, this is my job, so I know I'm picking this up either way to talk about it with all of you. But I do look at this and think to myself, like, if I'm, kind of a more standard consumer is how I would define it.
Well, I think I can speak for all standard consumers when I say this is a really good price point, 750, 800. Like, okay, if I'm being fair, if I'm being completely honest, right? 800 is kind of, it's I'll start thinking like, okay, 800, yeah. I would start thinking, but 600, 700, 600, 700, like, around that, like, those are absolutely fine to me. Like, when 8 would make me think, you know what I'm saying? It'll be a little prick, like, oh, 8. But then I'll be like, you know what? Look what I'm getting. Yeah, I just see the value in it so much that those prices really won't phase me to the point where I'm gonna say, yo, I'm not picking up the Steam machine. I'm just gonna go play my Steam Deck on my TV and make it look like I'm playing on a potato right now. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna say I want a better gaming experience, especially since I'm a little bit more into this ecosystem a little bit more, man. Listen, I hit a 1,000 subs. You know, like I feel like I'm part of this group a little bit more. You know, I feel a little bit. I'm getting good comments and stuff. I feel a little bit more welcomed here, and I feel like I want to engage a little bit more with the gaming community and just have my gaming experience be a little bit better. 700, 800 is something to think about. Once you get, like I said before, once you get into 900, then it's like I might pass on it. And then once you get into 1,000, it's like, all right, yeah, forget about it. Because if I get 1,000, I might as well save up 500 more and just go get a pre-built PC or buy the parts and just build it myself. So yeah, man, I'm definitely looking forward to the Steam machine though. If it's around any of those price points that I said, then I look forward to buying that. Honestly and truthfully, I don't know what price point it would be, but maybe, just maybe, we can reverse engineer it, right? Because when you look at it, right, they said that it's a AMD RDNA RAM, right? So if we look at this, right, AMD RDNA 3 RAM, right? So let's take a look at this. Let me see. All right, let's take a look at this. So when you look at this thing, how much does this cost? I don't know. Shopping, right? So all right, bet. Oh, this is a semi-custom. Oh wait, hold on. hold on. All right, so this is a semi-custom, and you could buy this RAM right now for $969 from B&H, right? You can buy that from $969 at B&H right now. So we're talking about the system being 7,800. I don't know, man. Let me see. So let's dig a little bit deeper. So what is it? RDNA 3, right? So what is the because it's gonna be like a wholesale rate price of what is it? RDNA 3 RAM. DNA 3 RAM. Because I doubt that they would pay like retail price. I don't even know what that would be. But it wouldn't be $969. I don't think they would get it for $969. I feel like they would buy so much of it that they would get it for maybe I want to say they would get it for like $500 and something per $550 each. I feel like that's the deal that they would get. And this is just me talking and trying to reverse engineer it. So let's say, all right, let me add it up. So we got 500. So we got a $500 RAM, right? And then how much is what is the other thing that they had? The Radeon RTX 7600. It's the equivalent of that. So I don't even know. Radeon RX 7600. RX 7600, right? What is this? 274. I bet. See? Look at that. 550, 200 ish. So they're gonna get this for, that's 90 actually. Where is it? 7,600. So this is 200 eBay used. So I think they would get it around the use. How much is the actual one though? Graphics card 300. Okay, yeah. So I think they're gonna get it. They would get it for like $200 each, right? So you're looking at 550, 6, 7, about $800. Yo, I'm telling you. Now that we did like the little napkin math and we looked everything up, it's about $800, bro. It's literally quite about $800 ish that they're gonna like pay. So that means that it might be costing $850. $850. I think that's how much it's gonna cost personally. But yeah, man. Either way, I think if it's around that range, 850 is a bit of a stretch. It's a bit up there, but I do think that it's worth it. It's worth it for what you get for Steam. But outside of that, man, you know what? That's it for this live stream. You know, we had a nice little talk. We had a nice little chat. I'm thinking that the Steam machine is going to be great. Thank you so much for chilling with me today. Whether if you chill with me live, whether you chill with me later, it's all love. It's all appreciated. Thank y'all so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.